Good morning, students. This is your first class, and you are going to learn Unit 1, Diversity in the Living World. Have you heard the term diversity? Yes, what do you mean by diversity? If you have studied social studies, you would have heard this common term, unity in diversity. Is it not? So, unity in diversity. India is a country. There are so many languages, so many kinds of people, so many types of culture, so many types of food habits, and there are lots and lots of costumal changes, which is we see. Likewise, when we come to the living world, say to the world in which you are living and I am also living. So, what is the diversity in living world? This unit 1, you will be studying the chapter 1, living world, and chapter 2, biological classification, third, plant classification, and animal kingdom. So here the living world. All are born on this earth, right? Are you alive? You have life, right? Do you know from where did you come from? Or do you know after death, where are we going back to? None of us know. But between birth to death, there's a span that is called living. So we'll enter into the chapter, the living world. We don't know before birth where were we. After death, where we are going to go. You would have heard stories. Punarjanma. I remember that. Yes. Maybe some extent we may remember. Very simple. You would have dreamt. You will have dreams. And your dreams are always unique. Whoever is strict in your family, they will be magnanimous in the daytime, whereas in the night, you will be huge and magnanimous, whereas the dominating figure in your house will be miniature, where you will punish. Is it not that? So that is called as psychological mindset. So we'll see certain terminologies and concept in this particular chapter. Characteristics of living organism. Yes. How do you define this organism as living? It shows the following characteristic features of living organism: growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, consciousness. I think these all words would have heard somewhere. Is it not? So what is that? Growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization. and consciousness. Something where you have studied already, didn't know how to put it in the chapter. So now you are going to subtitle it as characteristics of living organism. So the characteristics of living organism is growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, and consciousness. We'll see one by one. What is growth? You have heard about this advertisement. Complan kuditidin mummy. What do you mean that? Complan kuditidin mummy means what? Means you're growing. Yeah. Complan kuditidin mummy andre boy irbodu, girl irbodu. So what is that growth? It is increase in mass and number. It is also helping in cell division. Plants division occurs continuously, and animals till certain age. This growth and division enables to replace the lost cells. From morning till evening, we'll work, we'll get tired. After the tiredness, we go to sleep. What exactly happens in the sleep? Your body is in relaxed position and the worn out cells are removed and new cells are formed, and the dead cells are replaced by the new cells. Unicellular division to increase in number, growth, increase in body mass, increase in body mass. Non-living, do you think only living things grow? Non-living things also grow, but that is not considered as growth. It is called accumulation of material on surface. Example, mountains, boulders, and sand mounds. Growth cannot be a defining property of living organism. Conditions when it is observed in living organisms, when explained, characteristics of living. So now I'll give a definition. When you're listening to the video itself, you write the definition. Growth is defined as irreversible increase in the dry weight of an organism. I'll repeat once again. Growth can be defined as irreversible increase in the dry mass of an organism at a given time. Is this clear? So this definition you have to write on your own. Growth is defined as the irreversible increase in the dry weight of an organism. Clear? So you have to write this definition on your own. Next, reproduction. What is reproduction? Organism reproduce progeny similar to them. Dog gives birth to puppy. Cat gives birth to kitten. Cow gives birth to calf. Is it not? So here, reproduction is producing the offsprings of its own kind. So I'll repeat. Reproduction is defined as a biological process in which organism reproduces its young one of its own kind. So now we have to write this definition once again for reproduction. You have to underline the words of its own kind, because man cannot give birth to puppy, dog cannot give birth to baby. That is why the young ones of its own kind. There are two types of reproduction: asexual and sexual reproduction. Unicellular organism like amoeba, bacteria, chlamydomonas multiply and increase in number is defined as growth. So it is unclear that the usage of the two terms growth and reproduction. Many organisms do not reproduce. Mules, sterile worker bee, infertile human couples. Hence, reproduction defining characteristic of living organism. Non-living do not reproduce. Non-living do not reproduce. So you can see certain examples which are given below. Clear? So reproduction is defined as the process of producing young ones of its own kind. Young ones of its own kind. Next, metabolism. From morning till evening we work. We get tired. But even then, after a sleep, we start working once again. What is that process that is helping us to do so? That is nothing but the energy we get. The energy that we get is nothing but metabolism process. All organisms are made up of chemicals, small or big. Chemicals are biomolecules which are made up and changed into molecules, into organic molecules. Conversion reaction of these molecules is called metabolic reactions. Definition: sum total of chemical reactions in a body is called as metabolism. So definition is there on the screen itself. You have to write separately and remember, sum total of all chemical reactions is called as metabolism. Non-living organism, no metabolism. Metabolic reactions are demonstrated outside the body in free cells, cell-free systems, that is test tube or in vitro babies, is neither living nor living, non-living. Metabolism is defining feature of living organisms, and hence cellular organization of body is the defining feature of the life form. What are the types of things you come across? Photosynthesis, anabolism, cellular respiration, catabolism. Photosynthesis or anabolism is a constructive process, whereas cellular respiration is a catabolism process, which is destructive process, where the first one constructs from the simple material. Photosynthesis, if you see the equation there, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide combines with 6 molecules of water. It consumes energy and it takes energy, and it's going to produce C6H12O6 plus 6 molecules of oxygen. And in aerobic respiration, that is normal respiration, the C6H12O6 combines with oxygen and it is going to break down into simple molecules, that is carbon dioxide, water, and it's going to release the energy. That is energy output is same. So here metabolism is sum total of all chemical reactions, and here there are two types, anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is a constructive process exampled by photosynthesis. Catabolism is a destructive process that is exampled by cellular respiration. Clear? Consciousness. Living organisms sense their surroundings or environment stimulus, which can be chemical or biological. Chemical or biological. When you feel hunger, you eat. When you feel anger, you fight. When you feel drowsy, you will sleep. When you are thirsty, you will drink water. So how is it happening? It's happening because your body or a system is responding to the stimulus. Its response or understands through the sense organs. So organisms sense through sense organs. You know Panchabhuta, Panchendriyagalu, like that, the sense organs. Panchendriyagalu comes in the picture of consciousness. So here plant respond to light, water, temperature, organism, and pollutants. Photoperiod, influence reproduction. That is, light plays an important role in the process of reproduction. Seasonal breeders, plants and animals, they breed only during particular season. You would have seen watermelon during only summer season, mango also during only summer season, and certain fruits and vegetables are available only during certain season. Means they grow vegetatively prior, but fruiting will happen only during that particular season. Animals also they don't reproduce throughout the year. They reproduce during only particular season. That is the photo period. So it helps the plants and animals to reproduce. Human is aware of himself. That is self-consciousness. Is a very important boon for human to be aware of himself or herself, which is called as self-consciousness. If you are not self-conscious, your life may lead to a dangerous situation. Would have understood in lower classes itself. The teachers have taught the children good touch, bad touch. Likewise, your growing adults, I think you know what is good, what is bad, what to mingle with, what not to mingle with. Is it not? So that kind of a stimulus that puts you on a position, and that is called as self-conscious. Consciousness is a defining property of living organism. So an organism should be aware of its surrounding and it should respond to the stimulus. Respond to the stimulus. Diversity of living worlds. As I said in the intro, diversity means differences, variations. So here we are studying about diversity of living world. The term biodiversity is used to refer to the number of varieties of plants and animals in a region on the earth. How will you define biodiversity? Term used to refer to the number of varieties of plants and animals in the region on the earth. That is the definition. Number of species known so far is 1.7 to 1.8 million. It's very, very small number only they are able to identify. Simple, you go to a beach, stand on the beach, pick a handful of sand and say, I have taken the beach in my hand. How joking it will be. Because beach is still lying there. You have just picked up a handful of sand. So same thing only here. What we know the species is 1.7 to 1.8 million only. Remember, it is only. Because there is lots and lots of other species available in this planet, which is requiring more exploration, understanding, analyze it, and classify it. Student of a bio section should also get into research because there's a lots of scope which you can try to become a researcher. Need for classification. Living organisms are classified into categories so that they could be named, remembered, studied and understood. Only 1.7 to 1.8 million is a small number only. But we can't learn just like that. Means it helps in naming it, remembering it, studying it, and understanding it. Very simple example. Brinjal. You have heard about brinjal, right? Brinjal is a common word in English. If you take like that vernacular language, your mother tongues may be different. I'm saying brinjal, immediately for you in your mindset, oh, brinjal in my mother tongue is said like this. Tamil, it's called katrikai. Telugu, it is called vankai. Kannada, it is called badnekai. Hindi is called as bengde. So what many languages you people know? Each one has a name for it. But it will confuse you. So why we have to do that is to standardize naming organism. So organism name is named same in all over the world. That is called as nomenclature. So naming is universal. For example, human. Homo sapien. You go to any part of the world and say Homo sapien, it is understood it is human. So it is no confusion. So that is nomenclature helps in standardizing the naming of organism. Nomenclature, scientific name for all, name to all know the organism. There are two associations, one is ICBN and ICZN. Plants based on the principles and criteria of ICBN, that is International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. So this is a 1 mark question. So you have to write in your classwork. So this is 1 mark in the side margin. Clear? So ICBN means International Code for botanical nomenclature. Animals, ICZN, International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. So this is for animals. Scientific names ensure that each organism has only one name. Throughout the world, wherever you project it, you will get only one name. So this is the purpose of nomenclature. Clear? So far, you have understood the characteristic features of the living organism, biodiversity, nomenclature, ICBN and ICZN. Clear? Thank you. I'll meet you in the next session.